Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is the 7th tutorial in this course, and in this tutorial we are going to continue our discussion on data types, and we're going to check out some of the options that are available to us in SQL. And in this tutorial we're just going to see the options that are available to us, and we're not going to create tables, and we're not going to insert data into tables and check out the differences between data types. We're just going to see what is in store, and in the coming tutorials we're going to do all of that, so it's going to get easier for us to understand the differences between data types and the advantages that some data types hold over the other. So firstly, we are going to talk about options that we have for storing numbers in our tables. So you've got the big int data type that you use to store really large numbers, and then you've got the int data type that you use to store reasonably large numbers but not really large numbers. And I haven't included ranges for both these data types because I don't want to overwhelm you guys with the numbers and ranges. It's not important for you to memorize the actual ranges. You just need to know that if you're dealing with the extremely large humongous values, then you use the big int data type. Otherwise, for all practical purposes, you can use the int data type. And you've got the small int data type, in which you store values that are between minus 32,768 and 32,767. So if you're sure that the values that you're going to store in in the field are going to be between these two numbers, and you can use the small int data type. Otherwise, if you've created a table that is going to hold 10 rows, and you know that for 9 rows the value for the field is going to be between the range that you see on the screen, and for one row the value is going to be outside this range, then it would make sense for you to declare the field as int instead of small int, right? So it's always better to plan in advance and sort of know what values you might have to store in your database at a future instance of time. And then you've got the tiny int data type option, in which you only store positive values between 0 and 255. Then you've got the decimal and the numeric data types, right? And these are used to store fractional values, and for both these data types you have to mention two things as arguments. So the first thing that you have to mention is the size of the value, and by that I mean the display length. So if suppose you're storing 57.64, the value of M, or the display length, would be 4, because 57.64 in total has got 4 digits, right? And then the value for D, which is the number of digits that you have after the decimal point, would be 2, because we just have 0.64, so 64 makes 2 digits. And then you've got the float data type, and with float it's not necessary for you to mention M or D as arguments. In that case it takes default values, and we're going to talk about default values later on. And for now, just know that these are the three options that you have. And then we have the date and time data types. So the first one that we're going to check out is the date time data type, and with this data type you store values in the format that you see on screen. So if suppose you're storing 20th August 2013 11:42 p.m. and 15 seconds in a field that has the date time data type, then you'll first put in the year number, which is 2013. Then you'll put in 08 as values for because August is the 8th month of the year. And then for day you're going to put 20, because it's 20th of August we're talking about. And then you have to mention the time in the 24-hour format. So 11:42 p.m. is what, 23:42, and then 15 seconds, that would make 15 for SNS. And then you've got the date type, which is pretty much like the date time data type, just minus the time part. And you've got the time data type, which is just the same as date time data type minus the date part. And then you've also got the year data type, which is like really sweet and short, and this one holds only year values. So if you're going to put year values like 2005 and 2007 and 13, so you can use this data type. And then we've got three options for characters too. So the first one that we're going to check out is the char data type, and with char you have to specify the upper limit for the field, right? So if suppose you've mentioned 60 as the upper limit, then you cannot store values that have more than 60 characters in the field. And at the same time, you should know that char is a fixed length data type, and what I mean by that is that no matter how many characters you actually store in the field, the memory that would be used to store those values would be the same as the memory that's required to store 60 characters, right? And for most database systems, that would be 60 bytes. So 60 bytes of memory would be occupied even if you're storing just 10 characters or 5 characters. If you're just typing in hi or hello or something like that, you're using 2 or 5 characters, but the memory that would be utilized would be of 60 characters, so you're wasting memory. And with varchar data type, which is variable length data type, you sort of get an advantage, because if you're using 5, then you're using memory only for 5, so you're saving memory space for 55 characters. So that's really an advantage. And then you've got the text data type, which is used to store large amounts of data, like blog entries or about me descriptions and stuff like that. And then you've also got the BLOB, or the binary large object data type, and this one you use to store images or short video files and those kind of things. So there are lots of other options that we have available in SQL, and I've just discussed few that we're going to deal with in the coming tutorials. So I just want you guys to be a little familiar with the with the terms at least, right? So if I type in blob somewhere, or if I type in jar or varchar, then you should know that we're talking about binary data types and character data types respectively. So thank you so much for watching this tutorial. In the coming tutorials, I assure you that all of this is going to be crystal clear for us, and please subscribe to my channel in case you haven't already, and I'm going to see you soon.